At first, there was only the wind, rushing through the treetops. Then the earth shook. A deafening wave of artillery pounded Ukrainian defensive lines. Seconds later, waves of Russian infantry poured from the tree lines, advancing fast and aggressive. Ukrainian defenders, exhausted and heavily outnumbered, braced for impact. Ahead of them, a web of trenches and dying forest waited to be swallowed by war. Russian boots hit the dirt, rifles drawn, nerves on fire. The tree-line thick and deceptively calm masked the dug-in Ukrainian positions. Then it began. A Russian machine gunner unleashed a barrage, peppering the landscape. Ukrainian troops fired back, suppressing the initial assault. Ammo was scarce. Each bullet fired was a precious gamble. Still, they held. More Russian squads surged forward, covering their movement with smoke grenades. As the fog thickened, shadows moved rapidly, surrounding the Ukrainian line. One soldier, bleeding and weak, called out over the radio, "I'm hit. I can't hold. I need help." The call went through. But help wasn't immediate. An explosion rocked the trench. The Russian infantry was now within grenade range. Orders echoed through the radios, "Clear every trench. Leave nothing unchecked." An M113 armored vehicle roared in to support Ukrainian forces. But before it could offload, a mine exploded beneath its wheels. The blast hurled the vehicle into a tree. No casualties, but the crew had to abandon it fast. Inside the tree line, Ukrainian soldiers fought a desperate battle. Ammunition was dwindling. Radios buzzed with panic. Some defenders retreated under cover. Others, too injured or trapped, stayed behind. They watched helplessly as Russian grenades rained into their positions. Then came the surrender. A group of Ukrainian defenders, cornered and surrounded, were given a choice: surrender or die. They dropped their rifles. That section of the forest fell to Russian hands, but not everyone was caught. Several Ukrainian soldiers crawled into dense underbrush, hidden from view. For a brief moment, they believed they'd escaped. Then came the hum. A Russian drone spotted movement. Coordinates were sent. Shells landed like thunder. One soldier screamed over the radio, injured and pinned. His comrades stayed low, terrified, exposed. They needed extraction. HQ replied, "Hold your ground. Help is on the way." They pushed to the edge of the woods and slid into fresh defensive trenches. Cluster munitions rained behind them, a temporary shield. Then came salvation. A Bradley fighting vehicle tore through the fog, its Bushmaster gun hammering Russian lines. The surviving troops leapt aboard. With tracks grinding into the dirt, the Bradley reversed, dragging them from the kill zone. But this wasn't retreat. It was regrouping. Minutes later, multiple Bradleys roared forward, cloaked in smoke grenades. Russian artillery opened up, trying to intercept. The Leda PC was hit by shrapnel, but kept moving. Inside, Ukrainian infantry readied for counter-assault. Trench appeared. One soldier barked, "Open fire!" Rounds exploded from the Bushmaster. Ukrainian forces dismounted under fire, diving into defensive positions. Artillery returned. Mortar fired. The battlefield turned into a furnace. 2 Russian soldiers popped up and opened fire. Drones spotted them instantly. One FPV drone dove exploded. Silenced. Ukrainian stormtroopers surged ahead. One soldier tossed a smoke grenade into a bunker. No response. Another drone struck the tree line, a direct hit. More followed, peppering the area. A soldier lobbed grenades into a trench. Teammates covered him. The Bradley moved up to provide suppressive fire. Suddenly, Russian fire erupted. Ukrainian infantry split and charged the trench. Explosions followed. A Russian drone circled the second Bradley. It dived, a direct hit. Still, the vehicle pushed on. Infantry dismounted. The Bradley's autocannon laid waste to enemy positions. There was no return fire. Ukrainian troops crawled through smoke and mud, hurling grenades into every corner. Russian fighters were overwhelmed. Two attempted a last stand, but a drone already marked them. Boom! Reinforcements arrived. Orders shouted. Flank from the left. Smoke grenades rolled. Infantry stormed in. The forest burned with gunfire. 1 Russian fled, throwing down his weapon. But deeper in the tree line, the final Russian pocket dug in. Bradley pounded the area, cannons blazing. Ukrainian infantry dismounted, advancing under drone recon. Grenades flew. Trench after trench was cleared. Still, resistance held. Then came the final drone strike. A drone locked onto a trench impact. One Russian soldier panicked, calling his unit to stay back. But it was too late. More drones dived. Explosions everywhere. The remaining Russians retreated right into waiting Ukrainian fire. The last gunfight was short and savage. Survivors dropped their weapons. Prisoners were taken. The kill zone was secured. Mission complete. As the smoke lifted, medics rushed forward to treat the wounded. Drones circled overhead, scanning for stragglers. Ukrainian engineers moved in next, clearing mines and marking safe paths. One soldier sat against a broken tree, staring into the distance. He had survived, but the toll was clear. The forest, once green, was now a shattered graveyard of machines and men. Radio chatter buzzed with new coordinates. The fight wasn't over. Nearby, an intelligence unit recovered abandoned Russian gear, radios, documents, drone fragments. Every scrap was a clue for the next battle. By nightfall, the remaining units were redeployed, new positions fortified. The Bradley vehicles were rearmed and repaired. Fresh troops rotated in, faces tense but determined. Command issued one last message: the offensive resumes at dawn. Ukraine held the line, but this was just one victory, one forest, one battle. The drones would fly again. The trenches would fill again. Subscribe and stay alert. The next assault has already begun.